day has come. Now that everybody can be excited and happy about the fact that student athletes now will get compensated for their talents out there on the field based on their name, image, and likeness. You have the NCAA has signed and approved the deal for revenue sharing. Now, something's crazy here. I keep telling everybody, you got to keep your eyes open to everything that's going on because you might think it's sweet in the beginning. But boy, there's some caveats in this thing that can kick some folks in the behind. That's gonna have them pissed off, boy, for years to come. And coach had to go ahead and dig, and I had to scratch the claw a little bit. I had to scratch in that thing a little bit because I wanted to see what was going on because I got to get an understanding. I'm like, okay, they signed this deal. All of the institutions are getting what, $20.5 million per season. The suit is a $2.8 billion 10-year settlement that's going to pay the past players from 2016 coming forward for their name, image, and likeness. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But man, let me tell you something. If you didn't see my show that I did the other day talking about people making pledges to when they donate money to these institutions. Oh, this is one of the biggest pledges I've seen come to date. We're going to talk about it right after this. Sure, you got your cover, your blankets, your food, your drinks, whatever it is that you need. Y'all know this is going to be another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. I would normally put this on the Tomorrow Leader Sports Network platform, but it's not all HBCU. So I'm going to stick it over here so I can go ahead and just give y'all these giblets of what's going on because some of this stuff here ain't making sense. I mean, yeah, the deal is cool. The deal is cool. For now. For right now. But what I need y'all to do, tune in, tap in, tell a friend, tell all of them to come on in. They got to come on in here and hang out with your favorite coach. Hey, let's get them numbers up. Let's get these likes up so we get some more folks out here checking out what we're talking about because this thing here, while everybody's saying this is a monumental deal, there's something that y'all missing out on. It's something that you're missing out on. It's something that you're missing out on. And this is the thing. Okay, let's get into this. CBS Sports got this post up stated that schools can share as much as $20.5 million of the revenue with players during the upcoming academic year. The settlement also includes $2.8 billion in back payments for athletes who competed between 2016 and 2024. My question is, what happened to the guys that competed back in the early 2000s that was putting up numbers that had everybody glued to the seats and stuck in front of them TVs watching to see what's going on? I mean, your Reggie Bushes and those type of individuals that was selling jerseys off the daggone racks. What you gonna do about them? See, we didn't push that aside. We ain't even looking at them. See, this is where the water gets murky. And then they say that the new revenue sharing cap will increase by 4% each year during the 10-year agreement. So this is just a 10-year agreement that they got going on, right? So now, it also goes on to say that the House settlement final approval was twice delayed in April after the judge echoed objections concerning over imposing roster limits on current players, one of the pillars of the settlement. Schools were cutting players from rosters in the spring, even though the settlement had not yet approved, complicating discussions during the settlement hearings. The judge asked attorneys to craft a plan to allow current players to be grandfathered in with the new roster limits. The NCAA power conferences and the plaintiffs in the lawsuit instead offer a compromise. Schools have the option to keep current players on their rosters and temporarily exceed new limits until their eligibility expires. Boy, that was a mouthful. Wiki wow. Okay. Now, football, just to give y'all a quick rundown on a few things as far as the rosters. Football rosters will shrink to 105 players, resulting in schools cutting more than 20 players, though most schools are expected to exceed those limits by grandfathering in current athletes. Boy, this is about to get nasty. So check this out here. This is where the rubber meets the road, okay? This lawsuit came into play because of the lawsuit that filed in 2020 by the Arizona State swimmer Grant House and women's college basketball player Sedona Prince, seeking an injunction against the NCAA and Power 5 conferences. It sought to lift restrictions on revenue sharing of media rights revenue. Power antitrust attorney Stephen Berman and Jeffrey Kessler represented the plaintiffs. Okay, now, And there was actually 3 different lawsuits. I'm sure y'all like, all right, coach, we've heard enough of that. Get to the meat and potatoes, all this thing that's going on here. Now, what's going on here is that the NCAA rules have prohibited players from cashing in on the NIL, but that changed on July 1st, 2021. Now, with all of that being said, we're talking about the NCAA as far as with NIL and all that other good stuff. So you do understand that now that we're talking about now we down to the meat and potatoes as far as the NIL. And this is the part, that's why I read so much of this, because I want to give you guys exactly what's going on here, because this is the kicker. The kicker is you have the NCAA has changed up some things here as far as what they're looking to do. And matter of fact, the young lady over at hold on, let me check my phone right quick because I want to make sure I got her name right. The young lady that's over at Texas Tech that just played in the softball championship, she just got a $1 million NIL deal. The pitcher, phenomenal young lady, so proud of her. I hate that they didn't win the game like I expected them to. I was expecting them to win the championship. Things didn't quite go their way. And Jerry Kennedy got a $1 million NIL deal based on her pitching over there at Texas Tech. So, guys, let's keep this in mind. Everybody thinking that all this money is going to go towards football. It's not going to happen like that. They're going to be making sure that the Title IX rules are still going to be in effect. So that means these young ladies that's playing sports that can ball, they can get out there and make some things happen. They're going to make sure that they get their money too, as far as the programs needing financial stability from that NIL or the profit sharing from the universities. So don't just think all this money going to the football teams, because it's not. It is not. And what makes this even crazy, because y'all thought this was a game. I kept telling y'all it was going to be some boo-boo up in this thing, but nobody wanted to listen to their favorite coach. So I got to blow the whistle on this damn thing. But check this out, man. If you don't sign the agreement that's proposed by the new College Sports Commission. Yeah, they talking about they already have a commissioner in this thing that's going to make sure all the rules are being followed in the manner which they're supposed to. Oh, y'all thought this was a game. Nah, this ain't a game. This is not a game. Check this out. They could face potential expulsion from their conference. This is because the CSC, which is being developed to enforce the House settlement, a settlement related to the NCAA antitrust case, will be the entity responsible for forcing the new rules, and schools are required to agree to the terms of the settlement to maintain their conference membership. Check this out. I ain't even done with it yet. They say, here's why this is happening. Binding agreement. The Power 4 conferences, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and the SEC are working on a binding agreement that all member schools must sign to comply with the new rules. Ooh. Yeah, don't go nowhere. I ain't done with you yet. Enforcement. Oh, they gotta have some. You know, they gotta have some enforcement. The strong arm of the law. They gotta have a little bit of that. You know, the CSC. They're gonna be the body responsible for enforcing these rules, and schools that don't sign the agreement could face penalties, including potential expulsion from their conference. You heard me. They gonna kick your tail out the freaking conference if you don't sign the agreement. Come on, man. Strong arm of the law. That's why I said it the way I did. Now, here go the legal implications. Some are raising concerns about whether this is legally enforceable, as it could be seen as a take it or leave it deal, which is often referred to as a contract of adhesion. However, the settlement and the CSC are intended to provide a framework for legal enforcement. The game that got real, dog. The game that got real. I kept telling everybody, but wait. We ain't done with it. We are not done. I still got one more for you. I got one more for you, baby. I got one more for you. Hold on. Let me give you the last one. Consequences. You know, there's got to be some consequences. You know, when you was a child and your mama told you behind, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Oh, man, you know what you talking about. You got your head burned for being hard-headed. Here's the consequences. The threat of expulsion from a conference is a serious detriment for schools, as it would disrupt their athletic programs and relationships with other teams in the conference. And if I was a betting man and I was to sit back and look at how that would affect the program, my money would say that's more so going to make sure a lot of those games, like those rivalry games, that's gonna bring in a lot of financial revenue to your program. They gonna make sure them games ain't played. You're gonna have to go find somebody else to go play. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna go down into the you're gonna drop down a conference or something. Go down to Division I AA or Division II, something like that. To go get your bones as far as getting your games and all that kind of stuff. I think that's the type of time they're gonna be on. But what really got me with all of this, and it's just scratching the surface. I just wanted to get this out there to you guys to get conversations going as far as what your thoughts are on all of this, because I gotta be real with you. I got to be real with you. Remember, I was talking about how, and if you didn't see the last show, I was talking about what was going on the Tomorrow Leader Sports Network platform. Again, I want y'all to know that blow the whistle. These are issues that I talk about that are not necessarily HBCU related. They're just different issues that I see that's going on, and I want to have conversation. I want to have a little dialogue with you guys as far as with giving you some feedback as far as what I'm seeing out here in these sports streets, so that you know what time it is. But check this out, man. Remember, I was talking about in the previous show, I was talking about the FAMU Rattlers new president. She doesn't have any experience at running an institution, let alone a big institution like FAMU. And we've seen that at a lot of other institutions where they don't have the means or the necessary wherewithal to understand exactly what they're getting themselves into. And not only that, but then you got institutions that's not being transparent as far as what's going on and how these hiring practices are happening. Guess what? The same thing going to happen in sports. Where now they're going to put somebody in here that's going to be a daggone penny pitcher. They're going to be a rule thumper. They're going to be one of them ones that's going to go by byline to make sure that you follow everything the way that they ask for it to be followed. And if by chance you step out of line, guess what? They're going to go ahead and use a ruler and pop your behind right back on in line to get in there with everybody else to understand, guess what? We ain't playing no games with you. Ain't no favors up in here. You gonna do this the way we want it to be done. Well, guess what? That's what EA Sports. Get in the game. That's what they just did to everybody. The NCAA 26 and they're ready to swift kick everybody in the behind that play that daggone game. Because you know why? Because there's a lot of people out there that went and got that game because they knew their school was going to be on it. They was just excited about the fact that EA Sports was coming out with a new daggone game that they had not had out and got doggone what? 10, 15 years, maybe a little longer than that. They were so excited about the game getting ready to drop again. Everybody went and bought that game. You had 5 million new users in week one. Week one. On all different platforms that they had. I think they had 3 different platforms. The standard edition, deluxe edition, and the MVP edition. Now, you can look at them prices there. You're talking about $69.99, $99, $150, $149.99. Now, I know it took about, understand one thing. It took about what? I'll say probably $15, $20 million to make this game. So, I mean, you got to make your money back. I mean, you got to see a little profit in this thing. So, I get that part. But, guys, look at this madness here. They said the upcoming EA Sports College Football 26, schools will be paid based on how many times their teams are used in the game. This marks a shift from the previous method where royalties were divided based on a team performance rankings. The more a school's team is played, the larger their share of the revenue generated for the game will be. So that means if your team is dumpster juice, they ain't playing with them. And guess what that means? That means your school ain't getting no money. That's right. No money ain't coming your way. That's what's going to happen. And boy, let me tell you something. There's a lot of institutions out here that look forward to getting that little check to come on in there to help offset some of the things that they got going on with their programs, especially in them Power 4 programs. Because you know what? Y'all left the HBCUs. And so I think some of the FCS schools, they might have been left out of that too, where they couldn't get none of that money off that game. But it's cool, though. We understand what time it is. So all my Brownite folks out there, hey, if they got us up there, use the Morris Brown game. Hey, use the Morris Brown team. Run it up, dog. Build your team up. Do what you need to do. All you HBCUs out there, make sure you have everybody use the team of the institutions that they go to or they play for to go ahead and force the daggone issue for them folks to go ahead and cut that check to give you guys something as well. Because I'm just sitting here trying to say to myself, like, God, dog, man, is this what we own right now? I mean, is this what we really own right now? I mean, it's again, you want to big up the big dogs, but then you got the folks that's in the middle, you got the little dogs, you just want to dump on them. I don't understand this. You got so many people from all different daggone conferences that's buying this damn game to play it. I don't get this, man. I'm like, I understand business is business. I ain't mad at that part. Business is business. But at the end of the day, come on, bro. What we doing? But it is what it is. But like I stated before, and like I told you, EA Sports, y'all made a killing off that game, man. 5 million people in week 1. 5 million unique players into the game first week, with over 500,000 more playing via EA Play Trial. Man, y'all made a killing off this game. NCAA had 5 million people play in week 1. So my $1 million question is, now that we know that the team limits is going to be cut for some of these teams, and they're going to be these players can be grandfathered in as far as with football. I'm thinking they probably gonna still keep basketball the same. I got to find out what the number's going to be for that, as well as baseball, softball, and some of the other programs. And now we're seeing like some of the schools that they're letting go different sports or whatever have you. I'm just like, man, what we got going on right now? Right now, I'm speaking to HBCUs right now. Now's the time. Whatever it is that y'all gonna do, y'all need to come together, put a plan together, and make this thing smoke. Because if you don't, you're about to get lost. You're about to get lost in the sauce for real. You're about to end up in the blender where this is what they want to see happen. This is what the powerful schools want to see happen. They want to see us in the blender where we trying to swim up to the top, trying to get there. They got that weight on your ankle, constantly pulling you behind down. So the $1 million question is, what's the game plan? What we gonna do? What we gonna do, boss? But guys, I just had to go ahead and drop this off to you because, like I stated before, this blew me away when I saw this. And then I just got to peeking around trying to see exactly what was happening out there. Because I'm like, wait a minute, it's so much stuff that's happening with this thing right now. And then I got to looking at the numbers as far as everything that's going on. I said, whoa, are you trying to tell me that EA Sports, y'all shucking and jiving on the game here? Hey, this is what's going on. I understand. I understand before. Here's the breakdown on how the system works. They got a breakdown for how all of this gonna work with EA Sports. They got to pay per play. They got no more fixed tiers. So the previous method of dividing funds into mixed tiers based on AP poll rankings is being replaced. So that even means some of these Power 4 schools that was getting that check, they ain't getting that check no more. So guess what that means? That means some of y'all coaches got to get out there and recruit some kids and get your programs on point. That means no more of this dumpster juice out there on the field on Saturdays, acting like y'all really got a product out there on the field. Y'all steadily getting y'all draws kicked in and week out. Because EA Sports, they ain't paying y'all behinds for that garbage no more. Not only that, but then they come back and say direct impact of revenue. Fans' choices of which team to play as fans' choice of which team to play as will now directly impact the revenue generated for each school. But guess what? Colorado gonna make a mint. Coach Prime gonna have them boys over there playing that game. They gonna get some big bucks over there in Boulder, Colorado. I think Ohio State probably be good too. And then my quarterback over there at Michigan, the freshman, he's gonna be a good one as well. Because guess what? We coming out there to do that thing this year with the Wolverines. So y'all get ready for it. It's all good. I just had to talk that talk for a little bit. And then my son, of course, he be talking about Wisconsin, whatever, Badgers, whatever. But and then my oldest boy, he a Buckeye fan. I just ruined the show with that. I apologize, guys. I apologize. But like I was saying though, looking at how everything is going on, it's stating that all 136 FBS schools, this new system will apply to all of the football bowl subdivision schools that opted into the game. So that's another thing. You got to opt into this thing as well. So you got to see how all of this is going to roll. But they even gave a breakdown as far as the money that each school will raise. If a school is used in 7 million games, the allocation might be 1%, leading to a payout of, for example, $50,000 according to reports. So we're gonna see how that goes. But guys, it's like I stated before, all of this here is about dollars and cents. And if you ain't trying to make no dollars, you damn sure ain't got no sense. So you might as well go ahead and say, hey, we're gonna sit this dance out and let the record keep on playing. Because guess what? Now that the record is playing, that means the train getting moving. When the train moves, The training come back no time soon. So I hope everybody got a game plan because this thing about to get nasty. But hey, your favorite coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. It's another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. But guys, like I stated before, make sure y'all tune in, tap in, tell a friend. Y'all know what time it is. And all we doing is just having a good time, just talking about everything under the sun on this side of the platform. On the other side over there, Tomorrow Sports Network, that's the HBCU side. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to come on in. Y'all know what time it is. But hey, coach can go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, keep it classy because you know your coach going to come back with another one once again. And like always, like I say on Tomorrow Sports Network, be the one and lead.